Alright, so in this video, I'm going to go over op art. Okay, so what is op art? Op art emerged in the 1960s. It is a distinct style of art that creates the illusion of movement, as you can see on the picture on the right side. How do they create this movement? These are characteristics that we're going to look closely at through this PowerPoint. Bridget Riley is one noteworthy artist who has moved from achromatic to chromatic pieces but has steadfastly created op art from its beginning to the present day. So achromatic means that there's no color and chromatic means that there is color. So a lot of the pieces that you see might be strictly black and white, and then you might see some that show signs of color. Some characteristics of op art. Op art exists to fool the eye. Op compositions create a sort of visual tension in the viewer's mind that gives the work the illusion of movement through line or form or shape. Realistically, you know that any op art piece is flat, static, and two-dimensional. Your eyes, however, begin to send your brain these messages that it's seeing the picture has begun to oscillate, flicker, throb, and any other verb one can employ to mean yikes, the painting is moving. Op art is not meant to represent reality due to its geometrically based nature. Op art is almost without exception non-representational. Artists do not attempt to depict anything we know in real life. Instead, it is more like abstract art in which composition, movement, and shape dominate. Op art is not created by chance. The elements employed in a piece of op art are carefully chosen to achieve maximum effect. In order for the illusion to work, each color, line, and shape must contribute to the overall composition. It takes a great deal of forethought to successfully create an artwork in the op art style. Op art relies on two specific techniques. The critical techniques used in op art are perspective and careful juxtaposition of color. The color may be chromatic, identifiable hues, colors, or achromatic, black, white, or gray. Even when color is used, they tend to be very bold and can be either complementary or high contrast. Op art typically does not include the blending of colors. The lines and shapes of this style are very well defined. Artists do not use shading when transitioning from one color to the next, and quite often two high contrast colors are placed next to each other. This harsh shift is a key part of what disturbs and tricks your eye into seeing movement where there is none. So for this assignment, I thought it would be fun to create an abstract design looking closely at op art. So I will, through the next few weeks while we're remote, go over how to create these types of designs with you. So if right now you're kind of like, oh, I don't really know how to do this, it's okay. I will bring you through step by step. One way to help with this idea of this illusion would be to look at contour and cross contour lines. So that's something that we're going to look closely at as well. Now in the presentation, they talk a lot about op art being very achromatic, black and white, and very high contrast. Very minimal color being used. However, the twist in this piece that I'm going to give you is that you can use whatever medium or material of choice you would like to use to color this in. You can make it strictly black and white, very traditional, or you can use color if you would like to. You can use marker, you can use colored pencil. It's completely up to you. Some of the pieces that I'm going to show you right now are colored pencil, but I don't want you to think that you cannot do something like that, right? Or like this, right? So kind of keep your options open. Another thing that I think would be fun would be to bring this image into Photoshop when we are back in school and try to recreate our illusion digitally. So you'll have two separate pieces, one that's digital and one that variation that is traditional. All right, so again, like these pieces I'm showing right now are all in color, but You can create something that looks like this, right? Or something that looks more traditional like this as well. So for today's class, what I would like you to do is start to look up pictures of op art to get ideas of maybe where you're thinking about going with this project.